Hey folks, it's Chroma. Welcome back to my channel and my new series, Meet My Character Monday. So today's character is going to be my aunt. She is for a current project that I'm still developing. It's still in the early stages, mostly because I had to change it a little bit. There's going to be more than one girl as the sort of protagonist. It's going to be a Maho Shoujo type story, which is going to be before anyway, and if you don't know what that means, it basically means magical girl, so something like Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Magic Knight Rare, Pretty Cure, so on and so forth. The reason I changed it is because I didn't want it to be so centric on her character alone, especially because of her appearance. Her appearance is very different. She obviously has very short hair, and because in her original story she was going to be battling cancer. And not that that story doesn't need to be told, but I didn't want that to be the whole thing. And I had a theme that sort of just reoccurs in a lot of, not a lot, but a couple of my other sort of ideas in terms of media, video games, and so forth. And I was like, you know what, scrap it, let's fix it, let's make it better, let's not use that. So she's going to be more or less the leader, which obviously my faves. So yeah, she was going to have cancer. I may still include it in the story in some capacity, but it's not going to be the entirety of the story. She is currently in remission, and she just kept the short hair because it's part of who she is as a person, and she doesn't want to necessarily change it, and she's young enough to still choose if she decided that in the future she wanted long hair, she could grow it out. But for now, this is who she is. She's about 10 years old. I'm thinking of making her maybe just slightly older and putting her in like middle school, but I'm not sure. I think 10 is just fine. I may have her going into sort of 6th grade, but we'll see. Not there yet. There will be 2 other girls I will be introducing who are going to come in sort of a similar fashion in terms of how they're introduced as magical girls. Not quite Sailor Moon, where you had to wait like 3 or 4 episodes before you saw. Maybe I will do it that way. I don't know, but it's only just going to be the 3 of them. My aunt is obviously sort of okay. I can't say obviously because most of you don't know my first name. But I do have a first name that is very Egyptian based, which is kind of why I gave her an Egyptian based name, but not quite the name I have, because that would be, too self-insert. You can probably guess what my name is. If you haven't guessed by now, I won't say it out loud, and if you know it, just don't put it in the comments, because when I'm ready to reveal my name, or my real name, then I will, so please be respectful of that. But more about the character. She sort of lives in like a off the dirt road sort of house with her family. It's a blended family of her mom, older sister, and her stepdad, and her stepsister. There's not going to be too much conflict involving them, but you will see her family from time to time. It is very I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible, but not so much so that it's just like, oh my god, this is carbon copy Sailor Moon. I don't want to do that. Another reason for her sort of short-haired appearance is because I'm trying to be inclusionary. I see a lot of magical girls who either have like shorter hair that is like maybe pixie-ish to like long hair, and there's nothing wrong with having long hair, but there aren't many characters, especially in the magical girl sort of world, that have such a short haircut, because a lot of it, I don't want to say it's relying on the long hair, but you get the cute hair accessories no matter what hair length you had, and I was just like, let's try to do something entirely different, because why not? That's sort of fun and a little fresh, I think. And if you do know magical girls with short hair, I would love to see some. If you have one of your own, that would be nice to see. You can put it in the comments below. So, I'm a little lost for words. I don't really like doing commentary because it's very awkward for me. Even though I have the house to the house to myself. I don't know. It's just it's still an awkward thing to me because I'm used to not being by myself, and even when I'm alone, I know I'm not quite alone. Because, spirits and things. I know. Oh my god, what are you talking about? Never mind. We're not gonna go down that route. This is not what this is about. So yeah, as you're going to see coming up soon, I struggled a lot with her shirt. Because the design is cute. The original sketch is cute. The actual thing, it's not cute afterwards, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But it was a rush job yesterday because I had to go to work and I wanted to get this done. Because I wasn't actually sure if I was going to be able to include commentary. I kind of had off today unexpectedly, so that's why you're getting commentary. Because otherwise this would have gone up without it. But I struggled a lot with this cat. It was originally going to be a sphinx, but it's not a sphinx anymore. But cats with big ears generally remind me of Egypt for some reason. And I'm not going to base her whole sort of magical girl transformation and outfit on that. But it kind of gives you a little look into who she is and kind of who her family is in terms of how they operate. But I also wanted to give her something cute to wear that wasn't just, a plain old sort of like trapeze style top and a Peter Pan collar. It's very much a nod to I don't want to say Lolita culture, that's not quite it, but maybe like kawaii style, but with, an added twist that's fitting for her. The other girls sort of have their own little styles as well, but you won't know what that is until you see them. I will say, however, for the next girl, she is kind of obsessed with galaxies, so it will be a recurring theme in a lot of her clothing, just because she can, but I'm going to try to keep it as minimal as possible. As far as the shirt design goes, I'm probably going to redraw this cat. Not for the image itself, shut up notifications, but because I actually like this design enough that I kind of want one for myself. So if you're interested in maybe having a similar shirt for yourself, maybe give this a like or leave a comment and say, hey, I would like one of these shirts. And I will get to that. And as far as why I started My Character Monday, I have plenty of project ideas and characters that I don't really show that frequently and don't draw as often as I probably should. And I was like, this is a great way to do that, to get myself better acquainted with some of my characters that I've had for a couple years or more. So I have a character that I've had since like maybe 10th grade, and I have been drawing her forever, and I was just like, you know what, let's just do it this way. I need more content for my channel that's just not random or, just whatever, and that's fine if that's the type of channel you run. I'm not knocking anyone who does that, but for me, as somebody who's going to be a game designer and who wants to tell stories in any capacity, I figured this would be a great way to do that, give you some introduction to who they are. Even if you don't see them right away as far as my projects are concerned, you will see them later and you'll be like, hey, I remember when she drew this character, and now, here they are, hopefully not too many years later, but here they are again, and yeah, I really like this character. And I really liked Maud. I thought she was fun when I originally drew her. I drew her on line paper, actually, and it was just so basic. And then when I redrew her again, it was really funny because I find that a lot of my characters sort of have their own personality, and it comes through not only in the way they're styled, because you haven't realized this isn't the typical style that I draw in. It comes through in many other ways. So sometimes it's clothes, sometimes even though I can't hear a voice necessarily, I'll have a thought of things that they would actually say, and it gives me more insight as to who they are. My aunt hasn't really spoken a whole lot, but I get who she is. I tell she's sort of a tomboy. She's not quite girly, even though her top can be considered a little girly. But as you can plainly see, she's got some boots on because she's always in something. She's always climbing something. She catches frogs for fun. She's not a big fan of like grasshoppers, though. That's probably one of her least favorite insects. Which is funny because she likes frogs, and I don't. I don't like anything that will more or less hop at me, especially if they're really small. But I digress. This is not about me. This is about her. You can also see that I'm starting her earrings here, because she has short hair. And I think a lot of times, sometimes hair tends to be the big thing most people rely on in some aspects of the character. Like, you know what, I'm gonna nix that idea. Her character is going to have big earrings, and her having gone through cancer and not being able to have long hair like a lot of her classmates and, you know, even her sisters who have longer hair than she does, is she had to express herself some way. And even though fashion was one of them, her jewelry tends to be the biggest one, especially her earrings, and she always collects them. She prefers more, I guess more original pieces and less sort of, oh, I just bought this in the store kind of thing. Not to say that she doesn't have, you know, dollar store earrings, and some of you ladies know what I'm talking about. She loves to have big earrings, and here I am. I don't know how this happened, and the whole time I've made this little design, I'm thinking, this is very Digimon, why did I do this? Which part of it was because I didn't want her to be just on a plain white background, and I didn't give her a colored background. The colored background probably would have added something more, maybe, but I like this design. I think it's really simple and kind of, I think it's very fitting for her, and I think I'm actually going to continue through similar designs. Shut up notifications with the other girls. But I don't really have much else to say. Hopefully the next girls won't just be standing, even though this is sort of a standard pose for Mod. I also want to try to incorporate more dynamic posing when the other ladies come around, or girls I should say, because they're not ladies. But yeah, all that's left is shading. There aren't really many highlights, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you think of this series idea. I don't really see this kind of thing from other YouTubers that I follow, but yeah, let me know what you think. And I will be uploading another one next Monday, of course. It will be slightly different in terms of who the character is, but I hope that you like them anyway. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and hopefully next time less awkward commentary. Leave you to the music. Bye!